is what we've got in the mail. I ordered this to make sure before I go piddling on the car. Wanted a little help figuring out what all is wrong. Last time I got it diagnosed was a couple months back before my tag expired. And they said a few things were wrong. One was the evap sensor and something else. I want to say that something else was only going to be the O2 sensors. But since it's been a while and I'm not sure, I changed the evap sensor, but I wanted something just to kind of help me figure out if that is all that's left that needs to be fixed, the O2 sensor. So we're going to see how this product does, if it works at all, and what kind of codes it may give me. Now connected it is on. Let's see if we can get it to start diagnosing. Never done this before. I've got the ignition on. Found one code. Read code. So we're going to press OK. Cylinder 5 misfire detected. So I did the check the status of the engine light. Then other things happened. I couldn't get back to the car. His truck wouldn't crank. So that's another one we'll have to work on. So I've been looking up on what I need to do to get to the parts. And so far I have removed 2 covers. That one just for looks to keep it clean. I guess that one's to keep it clean as well. Now, this is a metal cover. I've got to remove it and all of its screws in order to get to my spark plugs and coils. So I will come back once I have done that. We'll see how tedious this gets. It is hot under this hood. I did this immediately after driving, so it's a little hot. So I unbolted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just tighten that. So 5 bolts, that clip, there's like 2 other clips, and then those 3 bolts. So 8 bolts, and then the rest are all clips unhooking. So we have now got the top off. Now we've got to work on getting to which one of those I need to take out. So I will be back. I've now unscrewed the bolt that went to this one. Unscrewed the bolt, popped the thing off sideways, popped it out. That is a coil. Then down below that is the spark plug. So I'm going to be working on getting that out. That is the next step. So I'll come back when it's done. Plug. And I'm slowly putting everything back together. I just put that little, I guess that's fiberglass cover back over there. I put the head back on. The head cover to the motor. And put the 6 bolts in. The one on the side with 8 bolts, technically. I'm about to put the 8th one on after I finish plugging everything back up together. I had to put this back in, clip this back here, push this back in right here. This needs to be put back on. Where did this go? This goes in right here. I think it's just slipped. Well, I don't want to go back in. We're going to have to work on that for a second. Oh! Okay. And then now I got to put this back on. So I'll come back whenever I've slipped this back on here and here. So this is the part where you pray and you hope to God that it works and that it's not some other issue. This specific code could be a number of 6 things from what I gathered from when I read the manual. And it says start with your cheaper things like your coil and your spark plug. So that's what I've done. And at this point, if it didn't fix it, I'm just going to have to take it in and suck it up, because his truck decided yesterday it wasn't going to run. And we need his vehicle to run. I need to go get a part and start working on his, because that's his work truck and it's more important at this point. So I will either take mine in to get fixed, let them diagnose and actually pinpoint further than a diagnostic tool can. So we're going to crank and hold your breath. Gonna give it a second. I guess it's gonna be a no. That's just awesome. Alright, well, I give up. That's the easier stuff. I'm not gonna fool with the harder stuff, so boo. But we tried at least, you know. That's all you can do. Alright guys, so update. I'm just now leaving the mechanic shop. I just wanted to add an update in my video for when I post it. No clue when I plan on posting this. Anyways, so I'm sorry if it's going to be sporadic. I'm not going to post it till all the work is done and I see that the engine light stays off and everything runs great. So, as you'll see before this part of the video, you will have seen that I tried changing a coil. I tried changing a spark plug, and the engine light was still on. Turns out there was a leak. Whenever the light wouldn't go off, we went and got it, the codes cleared, hoping they would stay off. I drove, did 60 miles an hour. It still stayed smooth, but it still started flashing. So I was like, it's going to come back on. So I said, you know what? I've done busted my finger. I don't feel like, fooling with it. Maybe it's something else. And if it's something else, it's going to be a bigger deal. And, anyway, I can't diagnose. I'm not that great. So all I can do, obviously, is just take things apart and put them back together. So since I can't diagnose, I'm going to obviously take it to an actual mechanic. So I take it, he pulls it apart, and he brings me one of my other spark plugs that has oil all over it, which isn't supposed to be all up in there. And he said, the oil is burning out your spark plugs in your coil. That's why they're starting to die. They're overheating. I was like, okay, so why does that one have oil in it and the one that I changed did not? And he said, because there's a leak. And that's when I found out the leak was there. There's a crack in this, there's a crack in that, there was a crack in a few things. And then while trying to fix one of the seals or one of the cracks into whatever it is in, I'm not good with names of parts, then he saw that my motor mounts are cracking and they need to be replaced. I think I have 4, but he said just the 2 on the sides need to be replaced. So we get to do that now too. But it's the end of the day. They've been working on it since around right before 2. So we're going to bring it back tomorrow. And I guess I will update some more and pray to God we don't find any freaking thing else wrong with this car. I swear to God, I'm done. So that is what's going on. Where'd he go? There he is. kids. We're going to talk about and finish this India video up. Talk about what I got done. Got grease on my head, grease on my arm. I was going to start working on Sam Squatch's truck. Thankfully somebody pulled up in time. The guy that I had hired to come help, because the starter ain't crawling under there. I'm too big. And we didn't even have to pull out the jack, because he was small enough to get up under the truck. So, my vehicle, we talked about, you know, I started on the spark plug and the coil, but turns out there was a leak. I finally had took it in, and I wanted to read what all it was. Okay, so we have a engine or transmission mount, which mine was a engine, for the hydraulic mount and labor came to $292.15. Then, but they got a 3-year warranty, so that way if it cracks again, I go right back. Lord have mercy. Okay, then we got valve cover gasket. They went ahead and changed my spark plugs because they were soaked in oil. Except for the one that I changed, they left it. Apparently, the only one with no oil, not ruined, is the one that I changed. The thing is, the old one that I took out didn't even have oil on it. So, that was weird. So, they did the spark plugs. They did valve cover gasket and a valve cover gasket set. Then they did a rubber gasket of some sort somewhere. Grommet, spark plug tube seals, oval intake ports, PCV valve, hood shocks. My arm on my hood died, and so it just shut on you all the time, and it was pretty annoying. So I went ahead and got that done while I was there. Then some other valve cover gasket. They list it twice because they list it once the labor price separate and then the part price. So if I say something twice, it's because one is the labor, one is the part. That all totaled $946.90. So we paid $946.90 plus $292. So $300 plus $950. $950. Why can't I think right now? So $950 plus 50 would be 1,000 plus 250. So 1,000 to 1,250. $1,250. Oh, geez, that hurt my head real quick. Anyways, so that's what we ended up doing for mine. And then I was able to go right around and get parts and see if I could get a guy to come to the house, since I wasn't going to tow Sam Squatch's into town 30 minutes away. That just would have been ridiculous. So I got a guy, found a guy who makes house calls. He came out and helped pay that guy, and we got it running again. Now, that's not to say that that might be the only problem, you know, but it certainly turns out that the starter he took off is the factory one. Well, that's a 2007 truck, so not too shabby. We got a little bit of good life out of it. So this is the first time, obviously, it's had to been replaced. There is a leak of some sort. Oil is coming from somewhere. What was the other thing? We still got to do the NOx sensor. He said that I should be able to get to that fairly easily. Like I said, I just know how to take things apart and put them back together. No clue where they're located. I would have to look it up. So he kind of showed me what I need to take apart. He's just showing me, you know, these bolts over here, and it should be right up under there. I was like, okay. And I went and got a price check on that part, and depending on how his lead looks, apparently, it could be this part or that part, and one's like 16 bucks and one's like 50 bucks. I hope it's the 15 bucks. Anyway, so his is next. Today we just got the spark plugs, and apparently one of his spark plugs, when they were taking it out, the guy that was helping me, he was unscrewing something, and it was the tip from the tube. There's something inside that tube that had stayed on the spark plug. He pulled it off, and he went to go unscrew the spark plug, and it turns out it wasn't even screwed in. So whoever we last got our spark plugs done by failed to screw it all the way in. So that's awesome. Might not even been a bad plug, just not working because it's not all the way in, but whatever. We went ahead and redid them anyway. So it cranks for now. Next we'll be working on the knock sensor and possibly the clutch for his air conditioner. And we got to figure out what the other two things were that were going wrong with his truck. So that's the update on my life. Thank y'all for watching. Just wanted to hurry up and end this video because it was a lot.